What's good, geeks? I'm Jake, and I am Gen X.
I'm Anna, I'm Gen Z.
And we are Generational Geeks. Today, we watched Mortal Kombat in the movie theater.
And there was a child outside screaming Mortal Kombat, and I wish we
in
got
front
a
of the
clip
poster.
of it.
Yes.
He was like posing in front of it. It was adorable.
So this was the first movie we had seen since Rise of Skywalker. So I thought about it today. We did not go see a movie in theater in 2020, which I think is the first time we've skipped a year of seeing movies. Maybe since I've been married, I don't know. A very long time. So this was directed by Simon McQuoid.
McQuoid.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
So this was his big budget directorial debut, and if you don't know, this is a movie based off of a video game of the same name.
And video game movies usually aren't very good. It is starring Louis Tan as Tan, I don't know. I think it's just Tan. Yeah. As Cole from Wu Assassins and Into the Badlands, which we've seen both of them.
We saw one episode of Wu Assassins.
2.
Did we watch the second? I don't remember watching the second one.
We did.
Oh, yeah, I guess we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where we stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jessica McNamee as Sonia, and she's been in The Meg and Chips. I think, did we watch The Meg?
Yeah.
Yeah, we watched The Meg. I haven't seen Chips.
No.
Josh Lawson as Kano. Best actor in this movie. I'm going to say it right now. But we haven't really seen any of the stuff he's been in.
I didn't recognize
He's been in a bunch.
But he's Australian, so maybe a lot of his stuff was in Australia. Maybe.
Joe Taslim as Sub-Zero from Warrior Series, Star Trek Beyond, and Fast and Furious 6. I haven't seen any of those.
You saw the first
Warriors.
few episodes of the Warrior.
Yeah.
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 I didn't know if you liked it or not. You don't remember it, so obviously.
No.
No, that's good, because I'm on season 2. And it's pretty good.
Oh.
Mortal Kombat was released internationally on April 8th, and in the United States on April 23rd, in theaters and streaming on HBO Max. Like I said, we did go see it in theaters. Last week they released the first 7 minutes of it on HBO Max, but I purposely did not watch it.
Yeah.
But...
Why would... Yeah, why?
But it was... We saw the first 7 minutes in theater. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Received mixed reviews from critics with praise for the fighting sequences, the faithfulness to the games, and the performances, which we'll get into. They did criticize it for the screenplay, which
we'll get into. This is a spoiler-free review, as usual. If we ever have spoilers, we're going to say it at the beginning of the video or put it in the title. Yeah. But this is spoiler-free.
So unless it happens in the first 5-10 minutes of the movie, or you saw it in the trailer, then we won't really go into detail.
Yeah. This is rated R for strong and bloody violence and language throughout, and some crude references. It is an action, adventure, fantasy, sci-fi thriller. Say that 10 times fast.
So basically this guy named Cole Young it says that he's seeking the greatest champions in order to stand against enemies of the outworld, but they were actually seeking him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't even...
He didn't know anything about it. But, so that's wrong.
Yeah. He is a MHA, My Hero Academia fighter. He is a MMA fighter, and he's accustomed to taking a beating for money. specifically $200 for some reason. Like, they kept mentioning specifically $200.
Yeah.
And he is unaware of his heritage or why Outworld's Empire Shang Tsung
Emperor
has sent Sub-Zero to hunt him down. So.
Yeah, so basically Cole is a new character that was never in any of the games. And I'm not going to say I'm a huge fan of the Mortal Kombat
lore.
Yeah, the lore. I mean, whatever lore was in the games, I'm aware of. But I know that they've had animated movies. I think they had an animated series. They've had comic books. I don't know anything about those.
Well, I watched one animated movie.
I fell asleep.
I watched one animated movie.
But I was really tired. I do want to watch that one again. Because
it was good.
I remember it being, the parts that I saw were good, but I was just really tired. I wasn't falling asleep because I was bored. It was because it was probably like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
4.
And, yeah. And I had probably been up since 5. So,
what stood out as good?
It had great special effects.
The special effects were amazing.
And it had good action scenes.
The fight scenes and how they were choreographed were really cool.
Some of them. Some of them were a little short.
Well, yeah. But
and some of
what
them,
you saw was good.
Yeah. Three fights to me stood out as being really good. Then there were some that were just kind of like, okay. I will say that this is... I don't want to call it a prequel. It's a reboot of the Mortal Kombat movies. But it is a... I can't think of the word that I want to use. It's basically all character development.
Origin story?
Origin story. It's basically an origin story.
For Cole.
Well, for all of them.
Yeah.
And it didn't really get... Because the whole premise of Mortal Kombat is the tournament. And I will say that it didn't really get into the tournament aspect of it. They talked about it. And they wanted to get there. But they didn't get there in the movie. So, and they did set it up for a sequel.
Yes, they did. Which, I mean, I don't mind.
Yeah.
Because I think if they focus more on the fighting, then...
The dialogue?
Yes.
Yeah. So, things that didn't much care for in the movie, the dialogue was...
Acting.
And, I've heard and read some things that said that, this is a Warner Brothers movie, and they did leave a lot of stuff out that had been filmed and then edited out. So I don't know if they took out good stuff. I don't understand why they would put somebody directing this that hasn't really directed anything before.
And I'm not sure why they took stuff out, because this movie was a little under 2 hours.
Right. But
so
most people don't want to sit through more than 2 hours of a movie. So the studios think. But if it's a good movie, I'll sit through. I mean, I sat through all of... Sat
through Snyder.
Yeah, the Snyder Cut. So, they put a new guy in to direct it. And, this is a franchise that's going to make... The movie's going to probably make money regardless.
Either way.
Right. I don't know. I think if they would have focused less on...
Origin stories
and more on the fighting. And kind of like Godzilla versus King Kong. You want to see the monsters fighting each other. In this, you want to see the good guys fighting the bad guys. And we did get some of that, but not as much as I think we could have. But they did have a few fatalities, which were pretty cool.
Yes, there was a moment, and I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I'm gonna say what he said. where something happens and the guy just stands up and goes, flawless victory. And there were a few of those that were like, fatality.
Yes.
And they were like saying it themselves, and you just had that like internal cringe of like, why would you say that?
Right, but they said it because, you know, they're not going to have some disconnected voice in the background say it, so they had
But
to
at the
say
same
it
time, it's
themselves.
like, why would you say that?
Yeah, exactly.
He's like this super professional guy, and then he just stands up and he's like, flawless victory. I was like, okay.
So the performances, you know, it's an action movie based on a video game.
There were a few good actors in this, but I would say the majority of the cast wasn't.
Yeah, I think they cast Sub-Zero really well.
They did.
Yeah. And even the original Scorpion.
Scorpion, yes.
Yeah,
I was going to say that.
They cast him really well. Yeah.
Kano.
Yeah, Kano was
my
probably
favorite.
the best part of the movie.
Yes.
Aside from the few good fight scenes. Any scene that Kano was in, he pretty much stole that scene based on his performance.
And it was a good thing.
Yeah. So, he's pretty crude. Had us laughing at quite a few spots.
Had the theater laughing.
Yeah.
So, that's always a good sign.
Right. So, what do you rate this?
I'm going to give it a 7.5.
Wow. I'm going to give it, like, a 7.
Well, hey. Pretty close.
Yeah, and, you know, I think if they do make another one in a couple years, I would probably rewatch this one just to get caught back up. You know, it's definitely it's worth watching again. Movie. I'm not going to watch it a couple times a year like some movies, but I would definitely watch it again in a couple years before the next one came out. Yeah. I don't think I'd have to because, I mean, it's not going to be hard to remember where I left off. So
people fought each other.
Yeah, exactly. So 7 for me, 7.5 for her.
Now you know.
Share it with your grandma.
And so she can share us with her book club.
I'm Gen X.
I'm Gen Z.
And we are Generational Geeks.